Every time I set out to write one of these things, I think they're going to be different than the last one, and maybe it's kind of the same, the relationship develops. But I looked at these guys not like father and son, they're more like, they're just kind of, not even master and servant and all that, just loves like a more of a romance, like look at the love of your life, you know. I'm kind of try to look at it like that, unless I'm a father and son. But it's great territory for a story, you know. These kinds of relationships ends up being a kind of bottomless pit that you can keep going back to, maybe. Hopefully provides good stuff.
This is a good one.
We've been messing around trying to find something that to see maybe what the film would look like. We were just messing around with cameras at Panavision, and they recommended this big, huge camera that's as big as this desk, and we tried it on our side, and it looked great. And we didn't really think it through because the camera broke all the time and made a lot of noise, and you can still hear the camera enrolling in the film. We just put fan noises over it, so you couldn't tell that it was the camera. And it was just one of those things that felt right and looked right. I guess normally they're supposed to be for epics and things like that, but so we just brought the edges in and used this old camera, and it just seemed to feel right. I read a story about a guy who came back from the war and met this girl of his dreams, and she turned out to be 15 or 16. He didn't remember how old she was, and she was going to visit her family in Norway, and all that stuff was from a story that I read, and that's where it comes from. Basically, liked it and liked that feeling and getting that in there. Solstad, I looked up popular Norwegian names, and that one looked good. I picked it out of a book. When I was writing the film, I was thinking about Joaquin to be in it. Obviously, I was thinking about Phil the whole time. I was thinking about Joaquin to be in it. I'd asked him to be in just about every other movie that I made, and he said no. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's worth it. And he said yes this time, and thank God he did. And Phil, I just expect him to be there if to do something with me. And Amy is somebody that, since I saw her in To Catch Me If You Can, and Enchanted, and The Fighter, and I knew I just loved her work, and I asked Phil how she was to work with, and he loved working with her, and so she was a great person to have around. The story could probably take place anywhere. I mean, I think it helps that it takes place in America. It seems to add up for me. I think it is specific to America. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you take these guys and you can put them anywhere else, but yeah, I don't. The role of the wife. Well, we were just talking about this before. Is she the master? I mean, I think sure. Yeah, she is. Well, I don't know. It goes back and forth, I suppose, like any relationship, right? Who's on top? Who's on the bottom? I don't know. That's a dance that goes on between men and women in that relationship. Who's the master? I don't know. The thing about the father, I shouldn't be read into it too much. There was an old guy, and we were shooting a bunch of things, and Freddie sat down next to him and said, "You look like my father." We didn't know. We just knew somebody had to die from the booze. We just picked somebody that looked good. That day we had a big picnic set up. The light was going down, honestly, and he looked great. This old guy. So we just walked up and started talking to him. That's where that came from. I'm sorry he had to die, but I looked on IMDb. He's died like 100 times on ER. That old guy. So. We thought we were the first to kill him, but it turns out he played a corpse a number of times. Every film is different. And you start out, and some of them you get through rough spots at the beginning, then some things get good, and then they all have a life of their own. Like I thought, the first few days of this were really going great, and then we saw dailies, and I think this is really tragic. And then you pick up and you get some good stuff, and then it gets tragic again, and everything. You can't have. It's so hard to get anything that's good, and if you get one thing a week, you're lucky, and then you just have to assemble it into its work.
It's work. It's making something. It's never easy. That's what I mean. I don't understand. It's never easy. Or else we'd all just be eating or something.
But it's not anxiety ridden or anything like that, or I don't feel nervous. I feel excited. I feel excited and energized by it, and love to do it, and love to do it because for those reasons, I wouldn't say that I'm nervous, but I just enjoy doing it very much, and it's really enjoyable when you're doing it with people like these guys, and you make it very exciting to watch, to be around. It's thrilling and not nerve-wracking at all. That, unfortunately, was a real porcelain toilet, and I'm not fucking joking about this. There's actually a historic toilet, because it was in a San Pedro jail cell, which is a historic monument in San Pedro. And when they heard that we broke their toilet seat, they were really pissed off. They couldn't get another one. So we could only do it once. That was it. Yeah. Right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.